Good evening, everyone. I have a significant update concerning tomorrow's winter storm, as new data indicates that snowfall amounts will be much higher than we originally projected. Our confidence is increasing that this storm will cause major travel disruptions across a large portion of the Midwest and the Great Lakes. A broad area of 6 to 12 inches of snow is now anticipated. However, the core of this system is expected to pack a much bigger punch. Cities such as Milwaukee, Chicago, Des Moines, and Grand Rapids are directly in its path where over a foot of snow is possible, especially in narrow bands where the heaviest snow develops. Across the most significant parts of this storm, snowfall rates could exceed 2 inches per hour, particularly from Saturday night into early Sunday morning. Snowplows may struggle to keep the roads clear, and visibility will drop rapidly as strong winds take hold. Blowing and drifting snow will create near whiteout conditions at times, making travel dangerous, if not impossible. In this updated forecast, we are going to break down precisely what you need to know about this winter storm and what has changed over the last 24 hours to cause these more significant snowfall predictions in your region. Now we have a great deal to discuss in this forecast, including 2 different winter storms that will be impacting the United States over the next 7 days. The first of these storms is going to begin this evening and will continue all the way through Sunday. So let us talk more about this particular winter storm. Beginning with what is happening tonight, snow will start to fill in across the Dakotas and also into Iowa and Missouri. Most of the snow will be light to moderate at times, but it will certainly become much heavier as we move into the overnight hours. So this map shows the situation at right around midnight. Snow is expected to blanket all of Iowa by that time. Northern Missouri, western Illinois, and southern Minnesota will begin to experience light to moderate snowfall. This will begin to cause some problems on the roads, but the worst of the conditions are not expected to arrive until Saturday. By Saturday morning, the heavy snow is truly going to intensify. You can notice the many dark blue areas on the map by Saturday morning across Iowa, Nebraska, and also over in St. Louis. This is where snowfall accumulation will increase rapidly. On top of that, snowfall rates will be up to 2 to 3 inches per hour, which means that snow will accumulate very quickly across these areas. And then later Saturday morning is when some of the most severe impacts are going to be felt across Iowa and Illinois. That is because heavy snowfall is going to become a much greater concern. Very strong wind gusts are also going to be happening, which means we will have snow drifts and considerable blowing snow. And this combination is going to create the possibility of near blizzard conditions across Iowa and Illinois. Please keep in mind tomorrow is Saturday, which is already a busy day for travel. On top of that, the Thanksgiving holiday just ended, so unfortunately the roadways are likely going to be quite busy tomorrow, even though there are widespread winter storm warnings all across Iowa, Illinois, and Wisconsin. By the lunch hour, the snow is going to be the heaviest in those dark blue areas you see. That is in southern Iowa and central and western Illinois. This is again where the snowfall rates will be up to 3 inches per hour. But almost all of Iowa will be dealing with snow all morning long, which means that snow is just going to accumulate continuously. This also means our snowfall totals in areas like Iowa could be as high as 18 inches in some spots. That is just how significant this winter storm is going to be. Over the past 3 years, we have not had very many significant winter storms in the Midwest. And this is definitely going to be one of the more significant ones in recent memory. By the afternoon hours, a lot of the snow will begin to move off to the east. One notable thing that will be happening during the late morning and early afternoon is that the snow band is going to be lifting to the north. That is because we are going to have a great deal of warm and moist air pushing up from the Gulf, which means areas like St. Louis and across most of central and northern Missouri will transition from all snow over to a snow and rain mix. This means any snow that accumulates is going to be very slushy in those areas. Another thing I want to note is that the northern and western sides of this winter storm are where some of the most significant snowfall is going to be occurring. So by around 2 o'clock, we will have some very heavy snowfall all across central and eastern Iowa and northwestern Illinois. Then, the snow in Chicago will really start to intensify during the afternoon hours. Also, for those of you over in Milwaukee or southern Wisconsin, you will begin with light snow for most of the morning. It is going to get much more steady and a lot more moderate by the afternoon. So the snowfall accumulation will really begin to pile up mainly during the afternoon and evening hours. By 4 to 5 o'clock, closer to sunset, a lot of the heavy snowfall will be centered across northern Illinois. Most of Iowa will be seeing more of a light snow by this point, and then eventually as we go into the evening hours, the snow will be blanketing the entire Great Lakes region. We will still have snowfall in Wisconsin, even by around 10 o'clock tomorrow night, and in northern Illinois, as well as Indiana, Ohio, and northwest Pennsylvania. You will all start to see snowfall by around 10 o'clock. But this low-pressure system is going to speed off very quickly to the northeast, and it will become less organized. This means snowfall accumulation as we go into the late evening Saturday and into Sunday will be a lot less significant than what we are discussing for the Midwest. So if you are located over in New York, Pennsylvania, or Ohio, I do not believe we will be talking about major snowfall accumulation. However, there will be some localized areas that get over 6 inches of snowfall out of this event. Then late Sunday morning and going into the afternoon hours, most of the snow is going to start to move out of the United States. The only snow left over will be mainly across northern New England and upstate New York. There will be a little bit of lake effect snow on the backside of this system across western and northern Michigan and the upper peninsula of Michigan. That could lead to an additional 3 to 6 inches of snow. Then as we go into Monday and Tuesday, we are going to have another big winter storm lining up all the way from the Central Plains back into the Northeast. We will talk more about that winter storm here in just a moment. Now, the biggest thing that has changed over the last 24 hours is how much snow we are expecting across the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, the Great Lakes, and the Northeast. And it is a huge upward trend. The latest National Weather Service forecast is indicating that we are expecting a widespread 1 foot of snowfall. Yes, that is correct, a foot of snowfall across most of central and eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, northern and even central Illinois, and back into Michigan and Indiana. This is a very significant uptrend. Before we were only thinking perhaps 6 to 10 inches of widespread snowfall. Now it is closer to the 9 to 15-inch range of snowfall that we are expecting to be widespread across almost all of the Midwest and the Great Lakes regions, with the most significant of that snowfall being located near Davenport, where I forecast about 14 inches of snowfall. Davenport will probably be right around 14 inches. Milwaukee, 14 inches of snow. Chicago will see closer to 8 to 10 inches of snow. And then over near Kalamazoo, you will likely see right around 10 to 12 inches. If you are over in Indianapolis, I am thinking around 5 to 6. For St. Louis, you folks are only going to have a few hours of snowfall because of that transition from snow to rain during the afternoon. So those areas are likely only going to see around 3 to 4 inches. And even then, it is going to be a very slushy snowfall in that particular region. And back over in Sioux Falls, we expect right around 6 inches of snowfall. Here is a more zoomed-in view of the Midwest in case you need a closer look at what you can expect in terms of snowfall in your location. Again, these numbers are significant. We are going to be live on this channel tomorrow covering this winter storm. We might even have a live stream with a question and answer session tonight on our YouTube channel. So please make sure you are subscribed and click the bell icon so you are notified when we do go live. This is going to be a major winter storm. We will have many live storm chasers and cameras across the Midwest covering every angle of this storm for you. Also, this is another scenario that could unfold. This is the HRRR model. This is the model I just showed you with the future radar. This model is indicating that we could even have some spots in areas like Iowa or even in western Illinois that pick up around 15 to 18 inches of snowfall, with the highest snowfall total being near 22 inches of snowfall just off to the west of Des Moines. That is entirely a possibility, by the way. So make sure that you are preparing for this winter storm. If you have any intentions of traveling on the roadways over the next 24 hours, please take it slow, and I truly do not recommend doing so in the Midwest. We already have a very high likelihood of major travel impacts tomorrow across many areas from Chicago all the way into western Iowa and back over near Omaha, Nebraska. And these are the latest watches and warnings from the National Weather Service. We do have winter storm warnings in effect anywhere in the pink, which is basically almost all of Michigan, most of Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and all the way through Iowa and Minnesota. We also have winter weather advisories in effect in the purple, which goes from Montana all the way into northwest Ohio. So please make sure that you are ready for this winter storm. Have flashlights ready to go as well in case there are power outages. I do think we are going to see some power outages tomorrow with how significant our snowfall is going to be. And obviously on the roadways, if you have any intention of traveling, please be exceptionally careful if you must be out on the roads. Conditions are going to be quite hazardous. Now, to help you visualize just how dangerous travel will be tomorrow across the Midwest, this is the forecast from the Weather Prediction Center showing the intensity of this winter storm. We are anticipating major travel impacts in any of the areas shaded in red. This zone extends from Des Moines through Davenport and into the northern parts of Illinois near Rockford. We also see a red area over Chicago and Milwaukee where major travel disruptions are likely tomorrow. The areas shaded in orange, which indicates moderate impacts, stretch from Omaha all the way to Kalamazoo and also near Grand Rapids in Michigan, continuing through central Illinois near Springfield. And then in the areas shaded yellow, at least minor travel impacts are forecasted. This includes most of Michigan, Ohio, central Indiana, including Indianapolis and also through St. Louis. The most important guidance I can give you is this. If you do not have to travel tomorrow, please stay home. It is simply going to be dangerous out there. I will say it once more. We will be broadcasting live for most of the day to keep you fully informed about what conditions look like. So please be sure you are subscribed to the channel and click the bell icon, which will notify you when we do go live. Now, this is not the only winter storm that we are expecting over the next 7 days across the United States. In fact, we are likely going to see another significant winter storm as we head into the beginning of next week, which is only a few days away. Here is what we expect to happen. As we go into Monday afternoon, we will have some moisture moving up from the Gulf and also some moisture coming over the Rocky Mountains. A mixture of snow and perhaps even some freezing rain and regular rain is possible across the Ozarks and through the Central Plains. There could even be some ice accumulation in Arkansas. This is a matter of significant concern naturally, since Arkansas is not typically accustomed to seeing that amount of ice accumulation during the winter. Therefore, this could cause major problems on Monday. But as we move into Monday night and into Tuesday, this storm system is expected to become much larger and far more organized. As these two air masses combine, we could see widespread snow from Missouri, Kansas, and Oklahoma all the way through Michigan and Ohio. And on the other side, right in the transition zone between the rain and the snow, some ice accumulation could occur in Kentucky, Ohio, and even Indiana, Illinois, Arkansas, and Missouri. This means that we could be facing major travel problems as we go into Monday night and also into early Tuesday. On Tuesday, this winter storm becomes even more organized and expands further, and this is when we will likely see the most significant impacts on travel. Across the board, the most significant snowfall will arrive on Tuesday, particularly for those in Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and throughout New England. We could be looking at a genuine nor'easter that day. So the weather pattern is becoming quite active, especially since this would be our first such storm in several years. We have not had very many nor'easters that have produced a major snowfall event recently. This one has the potential to be a major event with widespread snowfall of 12 or more inches being a distinct possibility. It is not a certainty, but it appears much more likely than before that we will be discussing a major winter storm during the beginning of next week. Then by Wednesday and Thursday of next week, that system should move out of the region. Beyond that, more chances for snow are possible toward the end of next week, but they will not be nearly as widespread as what we will experience over the next 5 days. So if this nor'easter is as powerful as the GFS model is currently indicating, there is a true possibility that a widespread snowfall of more than 1 foot would be possible across areas like Pennsylvania, all the way through central and northeastern New England. That would include places like New Hampshire, Vermont, and even western and northern Massachusetts. But please notice how sharp the cutoff line is between very significant snowfall and almost no snowfall at all. This is a very typical setup for a nor'easter here in New England, and it could be what we see on Tuesday. However, the European model is showing a storm track that is much farther to the south. It is also showing a lot less snowfall in general, with what appears to be a widespread 3 to 6 inches of snowfall, and perhaps some locations receiving around 8 to 12 inches of snow. So there is a lot to resolve with that next winter storm. We are going to have a much more detailed video for you on this topic on Sunday as we get closer to the event. We will provide you with many more details then. So please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And as a gentle reminder, we have a special Black Friday sale happening now at shopmaxvelocity.net. You can use the code Black Friday to receive $5 off an order of $50 or more. This includes our brand new top-selling cheese curd collection, which features my cat. We also have many other nice items like our Happy Holidays and Supercell merchandise. You can view all of this by using the top link in the description below. We might be live tonight for a brief question and answer live stream to go over the latest details, but if not, we will certainly be live tomorrow. We will not be posting a separate video tomorrow, so please stay